beginning, when the sky answered back. The sky over the Atacama Desert had always been honest. Dry air, clean horizons, and stars so sharp they felt close enough to touch. That was why the world's most sensitive listening arrays were built there, to watch, to wait, and to confirm humanity's quiet suspicion that the universe was not empty. Dr. Aaron Vale had spent most of his life waiting for a reply. On the night it finally came, there were no explosions, no glowing portals ripping the sky apart. Instead, the stars subtly shifted. Constellations bent into unfamiliar geometries, rearranging themselves with deliberate precision. The computers noticed first. Aaron noticed second, because the pattern wasn't random. It was language. Within minutes, alarms echoed through the research facility. Screens filled with data. A structure entering orbit without propulsion, without heat signature, without hostility. Humanity had been answered. 3 days later, the world watched as a single alien vessel descended into the desert. Governments issued statements. Military units stood by. Millions of people held their breath in front of glowing screens. Aaron stood at the edge of the landing site, his heart pounding, knowing his life had already changed. The ship opened like a blooming petal, light spilling onto the sand. From within stepped a tall, slender figure wrapped in flowing, iridescent robes. A smooth silver mask concealed her face, etched with glowing symbols that shifted like living equations. When she spoke, her voice bypassed sound entirely. "I am Princess Lyra of the Aurelian Concord." The voice resonated in every mind present. "I come in peace, bearing knowledge and seeking understanding." History fractured into a before and an after. Middle, the masked princess. The Aurelians were not conquerors. They were explorers, scholars, and diplomats bound into a vast interstellar alliance. Their technology dwarfed humanity's, but they offered it carefully, believing progress without wisdom led only to ruin. Princess Lyra was more than a representative. She was proof of trust. Aaron was assigned as her primary cultural liaison, a role that placed him closer to her than anyone else on Earth. His task was simple in theory: explain humanity. In practice, it was impossibly complex. Their meetings took place in a specially designed chamber where light, gravity, and atmosphere adapted seamlessly. Lyra never removed her mask. At first, Aaron assumed it was ceremonial, but as days passed, he sensed something deeper. She avoided certain topics, her posture tightening whenever human appearance or physical identity came up. Yet their conversations flowed effortlessly. She spoke of her homeworld, a place of layered skies and living cities grown from crystalline structures. She explained Aurelian philosophy, where identity was fluid and bonds were chosen, not inherited. Aaron shared Earth stories, its art, conflicts, mistakes, and dreams. "You are a contradictory species," Lyra observed once. "Capable of immense kindness, yet paralyzed by fear of difference." Aaron smiled faintly. "We're still learning who we are." "And who you might become," she replied. Something changed between them after that. Their discussions lingered longer. Silences became comfortable. Lyra asked questions not for protocol, but curiosity, about human humor, music, and why people sought connection even when it hurt. Aaron noticed how the faint lights on her mask shifted with emotion, how she tilted her head when listening, as if absorbing more than words. He realized, slowly and carefully, that he no longer saw her as an alien. He saw her as someone. The weight of the mask not everyone shared Aaron's growing trust. Across the world, protests erupted. Some feared manipulation. Others demanded that the Aurelians leave, convinced the alliance would erase human identity. Even among the Aurelians, Lyra faced scrutiny. She was young by their standards, idealistic, and dangerously open to emotional influence. One evening, she requested a private meeting with Aaron, away from observers and translators. They stood beneath a transparent ceiling as Earth's night sky stretched above them. "There is something you should know," Lyra said, her voice quieter than usual. Aaron nodded. "You can tell me." "My mission has always been twofold," she said. "Diplomacy and evaluation." "Evaluation of what?" Aaron asked. "Of humanity's capacity for connection," Lyra replied. "Not just politically, but personally." Aaron felt a subtle tightening in his chest. "And what have you found?" "That you fear what you do not understand," she said honestly. "But some of you choose understanding anyway." She turned toward him fully. The symbols on her mask glowed softly. "There is a reason I wear this," Lyra continued. "My true form has ended alliances before they began. Many species cannot reconcile what I am with what they expect." Aaron took a slow breath. "You shouldn't have to hide to be accepted. That belief," she said, "is rare." She hesitated, then spoke words that seemed heavier than any diplomatic statement. "If I removed my mask and you saw me as I truly am, could you still love me?" The question hung between them. Aaron did not answer immediately. He understood the weight of what she asked, not just about attraction, but about acceptance, fear, and choice. Finally, he said, "Love isn't about comfort. It's about deciding that someone matters, even when understanding takes effort." Lyra studied him in silence. "Then," she said softly, "I will show you." The unveiling permission was granted reluctantly. The chamber was sealed, monitored, and prepared for every contingency. Lyra stood at its center, perfectly still. "I ask only that you remain," she said. "Whatever you feel." Aaron nodded. "I'm here." She raised her hands and disengaged the mask. It lifted away with a soft harmonic hum, dissolving into light. Aaron's breath caught. Lyra's face was unmistakably alien. Her skin shimmered like layered crystal, translucent in places, reflecting colors beyond human perception. Her eyes were large and faceted, capturing light like galaxies trapped in motion. Bioluminescent patterns traced her features, pulsing gently with her emotions. She was not human. She was not monstrous. She was other and undeniably alive. Aaron felt surprise, awe, and a flicker of instinctive uncertainty. Then it passed. What remained was recognition. "You're beautiful," he said, not as a reflex, but as a truth. Lyra's lights flared softly. "You are not afraid." "I am aware," Aaron replied. "There's a difference." For the first time since arriving on Earth, Lyra smiled openly. Consequences among the stars' news of the unveiling spread quickly, carefully edited, contextualized, debated endlessly. Humanity struggled, argued, and adapted. Some turned away. Others leaned closer. The Aurelian Concord convened in judgment. Lyra stood before her elders unmasked, unshielded. "You have compromised yourself," one elder warned. "Emotion clouds reason. Emotion reveals sincerity," Lyra replied. "Without it, alliances are empty." Back on Earth, Aaron faced his own consequences. His objectivity was questioned, his motives dissected, but he refused to step back, because what they had discovered was larger than policy. It was possibility. He and Lyra continued to meet, now without barriers. Their bond deepened, shaped by honesty rather than expectation. They spoke not of forever, but of meaning, and that was enough. Ending. Love without a mask. The day Lyra departed Earth was quiet. No crowds gathered. No speeches echoed across the desert. Just the ship, the stars, and two beings standing between worlds. "I must return," Lyra said gently. "My people will decide what comes next." Aaron nodded. "And what do you want?" She considered this. "I want a future where no one must hide to be worthy of connection." She removed her mask one final time, not to wear it, but to place it in Aaron's hands. "A reminder," she said, "that what we fear often holds the greatest truth." The ship rose silently into the sky, vanishing among the stars. Aaron remained, mask in hand, knowing something profound had changed. Humanity had not just met another species. It had been asked a question, and in answering it, learned that love, true love, was not about faces or forms, but the courage to see and be seen without fear. Somewhere beyond the stars, an alien princess carried the same truth, and the universe felt just a little smaller,